I'm kidding. I can record as much as I want ahead of the time.
It's going to be like a behind the scenes preamble.
I'm going to keep that part in there. Just that.
Lovely.
Okay, Faye, get ready for the wink.
All right.
Okay, I got the
Wink.
it.
You missed it!
Yeah, I totally missed that. So, never mind. We'll go over it. Good evening. This is HNN, the Holotable News Network, because you're not even remotely close to around the clock Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes news, reactions, reviews, theory crafting, and more source. I am Faith34, your host today, joined by my two distinguished co-hosts, Celiac, Sarah. Welcome back.
Hi, how are you?
Great. Thanks for joining. And the ever illustrious Sir Georges. Good to have you on.
How do you do?
I do well. Yep, I do well. As always, start the show with your HNN headline news. Today we have 3 headlines. Number 1. Some actual, we did talk about this last time. Are they really going to do anything for Empire? Some actual Empire content arrived in the game in the form of a Rebel Y-Wing. So Sarah.
Yeah.
Tell us everything you need to know. The definitive, in-depth look at the Rebel Y-Wing.
All right.
Why you think it's the 7th best ship in the game.
7th best. Okay. What are the other 6?
Well, this is what you were telling us.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Rebel Y-Wing. Okay. Light side tank Rebel. That's okay. Fine.
The end.
The end. That is it. That's all I know because I don't have it. Okay. Basic. SW4 ion cannons. It just sounds awful.
Right? Star Wars 4.
Yeah, Star Wars 4 ion cannons. Deal physical damage to target enemy. The Rebel Y-Wing gains taunt until the start of its next turn if it didn't already have it. Okay.
So a taunt on basic.
Yeah, that's really cool. Is there any other taunt on basics in the game?
Not for ships.
I don't think so.
It definitely, yeah.
What
about regular characters? Are there?
There, somebody. I think Kara kind of does now.
There's like
with Kara's
three taunters, but
yeah, I don't even remember Kara.
Somebody has to.
Anyway, that's cool. That's cool. Different and.
Cool.
Yep.
That's the kit.
Yeah.
Special one, ion torpedoes. Dispel all buffs on target enemy and inflict shield disruption for 2 turns. Then deal physical damage to them. The Y-Wing gains taunt for 2 turns. Okay, so we're going to gain taunt again. Shield disruption. Protection is disabled, immune to protection up, and bonus protection. That's kind of cool.
It
Does
is.
that mean so protection is disabled? So I would assume that means you're not getting rid of it. It's still there. You're just ignoring it.
It's
disappears.
Totally gone.
Yep, it's gone.
It's like when Malevolence does its shot and you just don't have protection as an option anymore.
See, because I read the word disabled and I think that I can re-enable it.
You can.
Well, yeah, you can once that buff or that debuff's gone. Once shield disruption is gone, you can get it back.
So it's like it freezes where it's at, disappears.
Right.
And then if you're still alive by the time it wears off, it just pops right back up.
So if it was at 60%, would it pop back up at 60? Okay,
yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, so unique one. There's only one unique. Chempat?
Good. Chempat? I'm going to say like chemistry.
Yeah. Chempat shield generator. Rebel allies recover 20% protection whenever a Rebel ally critically hits an enemy. If the allied capital ship is Rebel, the Y-Wing has plus 30% potency and a 35% chance to assist other Rebel allies when they attack out of turn. Limit once per turn. I just wanna. I guess so. Shield disruption is considered a debuff.
I think so.
Yep. Yeah. It's a
So
little red thing
the
above their head
potency thing
is important.
matters.
Correct.
Okay. I was
Yep.
like, what does it do? Reinforcement. Rebel tracking computer. Enter battle. Rebel allies gain 3% critical chance for each rebel ally until the rebel Y-wing is defeated.
That's not great.
Yeah.
And it's not terrible, but
I'm not like wowed by it.
I think it's pretty good.
The reinforcement one, sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
The ships do not have mods, so having any critical chance boost is big.
That's true.
And for rebels who already have high crit chance, getting them even closer to 100%, like a 40% crit chance to a 55 or 60% crit chance is a big difference in actual number of times you critically hit.
Yep, it's true. It's true. I'm kind of, I guess, jaded by maybe even the characters in the games where crit chances become almost irrelevant because everyone it almost always ends up with 100%, or not 100, but 90% crit chance.
Or the Galactic Legends who naturally have over 100% crit chance. Did you notice that?
I don't think I did. No, they just always do. So
it's like a nice little subtle.
Why do we have it on there? I think the Y-wing is cool and basic. And
have you used them?
I have it. 4-star doesn't do a ton. Like I actually busted out in Territory Wars on Negotiator because the rest of them weren't gonna quite cut it. We didn't beat all the negotiators in there, so I used mine, and it didn't go super well because it didn't land the shield disruption on Houndstooth. I mean, that's what it's made for.
Right.
All of those things are anti-Houndstooth. It did survive a while though, especially at 4-star. You know, I wasn't expecting the world at 4-star, but I was hoping I could chew down a couple ones. But
it didn't land.
No, because I think the tenacity on Houndstooth is probably pretty close to that 30% that the Y-wing gets for the potency. You know what I mean? Like that's like its counterbalance to that, but it still didn't land. So
that's terrible.
That was no bueno. I don't know how much that goes up when you get to 7-star or not, but so I look forward to it. I have it at 4-star, and it will probably sit on the bench for a couple months.
Right on. That makes me feel better.
I think it looks like a really good ship. And I like the way it looks, one, because, that's the kind of ship that I remember, especially from watching the Clone Wars and Rebels TV shows. And I haven't gotten to play with it, but I do think it sounds like it'll be just as good as Houndstooth. Whereas and I'm glad that it's pilotless.
Yeah.
Keep this thing going. Stop. Unless it makes sense for somebody to be a pilot. They don't need to have pilots for every ship.
Agreed.
That's fair.
Some of them do. I like it, but it's good to just be done with it and have it set up. I had to pop over because I had like a Y-wing.
A little Y-wing?
So yeah, that's all. Just floating around. And then now this is the other main ship where we're missing. A Naboo starfighter.
Yeah.
Get that in there.
Is there anything this ship looks like it'll do well against besides Houndstooth?
Well, I think anytime if you could get like through Hyena Bomber faster by having no protection or anything like that, I think that could work. And adding all the protection back to the critically hitting rebels on top of all the extra assists that they're doing. I like this really does seem a very dependent on having full rebel team in the same way that Falcon does. So
you're just gonna add it to your Falcon team, basically.
Yes. Yep. You'd have to without that extra potency against Houndstooth, I think you're just gambling too much to throw it in to just do the shield disruption otherwise.
Right.
Because even with it didn't land. So And there's one thing I don't like. It's having a battle come down to like a 50-50 thing right in the beginning. That's annoying.
Yeah. I really like the unique that now Rebels have an advantage on offense in Grand Arena or Territory War, or no, Grand Arena for the high banners, since it's got protection up, or
that's a good point.
regeneration.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Gotta like that protection regen.
I did not think of that.
And so, Galactic Chase, I mentioned before, I'm a fan. What are you two feel about Galactic Chase, and where did you get on this one? Sarah, that sounded like a real positive from you.
So Galactic Chase, I actually don't hate it. I don't love it. I was not thrilled by the fact that once again an event started or something that they did started, and then they clarified that they were changing something. So
what did they change, Sarah? Fill us in.
Dirty rotten.
Break the news.
So they changed. So here's the thing that what I'm actually not a fan of is I'm not a fan of how they phrased it for when they changed it, and also the timing. So they changed the drop rate. So, and the reason why I'm not a fan of how they phrased it is because they basically expected everyone to remember from way back when the first Galactic Chase came. They put out a forum post explaining how the drop rate would work. And it was 4% per energy spent. So if you...
Which was great.
A 20 energy node, I'm going to do my math wrong, 4% per... Does that mean I have an 80% chance on a 20 energy node?
Yep. Okay,
so yeah. So if I am simming, that's a great drop rate, right? So then they changed it to be 2% per energy spent, but they didn't say it until after it had started. And they also didn't say,
everyone whined about it, and it was obvious.
It was so obvious, but they also said it in a way that they expected you to remember this post from eons ago. It was just a very weird, I just didn't like it. I didn't care for the phrasing. Maybe I'm just being sensitive. It's possible. But once I read that... I don't think
you were the only one.
But once I read that, so here was my conundrum. I read it and I was like, well, the drop rate is trash. I finished the Galactic Chase with 32 shards. I did refresh my fleet energy every day. I didn't refresh all of it, but I did refresh it. I was farming gear for Finn so that I could gear 13 him as soon as I get him to 7 stars. So I was doing a 10 energy node. So based off of what they said, I had a 20% chance to get a shard. I feel like I should have gotten more than 32 shards for 20%. And because I wasn't getting a good drop rate, that was why I decided not to spend my crystals there. And I ended up just refreshing Finn more and refreshing my regular energy, because why am I going to waste my time trying to chase
frustrated by
right.
That's the worst part of it.
For me, it made more sense to just say, screw it. I don't care. I'm not going to go back to running Falcon in Arena. So I don't really care. I will get it next time around. Maybe.
There won't be a next time.
Well, there won't be a next time, but
yeah, I know. Yeah.
But
just clarifying for people that this is worse than a marquee.
It is.
Disagreed, but continue.
But a marquee you unlock.
Yes.
At least I have the character and I can chill with him there.
Exactly.
He's in my roster.
I get that. There's so my standpoint from it, I did refreshes. I did the 50 and the 100 refreshes. I ended up with 45 out of 65 in the 4-star one. So that means I spent, what was that? Did we do it for 5 days? Right?
Was it 5 days? Yeah.
I don't recall.
Yeah. Whatever, something like that. 5 days, I would have done the 50 refreshes for the gear 12, 5, whatever, 0.5 anyway. So I spent an extra 300. So I spent an extra 1,500 crystals that I wouldn't have anyways. But for that, I got, versus a 3-star lock, I got 75 shards of the ship. And I got however many, probably another 50 to 100 of the stupid furnaces that I wouldn't have gotten anyway. So, I mean, that would have been the best deal in the game ever if they had given you 15, if they had given you 75 shards of that.
I don't think it's 75. So you got
that's definitely what it is. I have 45 out of 65, so I would have been at 3-star. I got my 4-star, so I got my 30 plus the 45.
No, it unlocks at 4-star.
Right. But if we had done Marquee...
So altogether you farmed 135 shards?
Where does it unlock at? 80?
Yeah, 80 for 4-star.
Yeah, 125.
125.
Right.
A Marquee, you get...
50.
Just 50?
Yeah.
Okay,
so
never
you
mind.
unlock
You're
it
right.
at
Continue.
3. But I get it though. But if you're not going to spend crystals, you're not going to get it. The other counterbalance to that is, what are you going to do with a 3-star one? I can't really do it with a 4-star. And so it also benefits someone like me that tends to be higher in arena anyway and has like crystals that I can spend. Not everyone can spend 1,500 crystals in 5 days and not have it matter all that much. So those things benefit me more than a lot of players that you're only getting 50 crystals a day from arena versus 900 between ship. And so I get that. For where I stand, I enjoyed doing it. It was certainly a bummer to see you do 12 sims and you'd get like 2 of the things or 0 a couple times.
Yeah.
Those are the things that are like just not enjoyable, and they really need to limit that.
I did all the 50 crystal refreshes, not 100. So I didn't spend the extra 1,500 that you did. But I still spent crystals to work towards this. Only got to 58 out of 80.
Okay.
And so
must have had some good drop rates early on.
You must have.
They fell off a cliff because right away I was kind of like, oh yeah, this is going along well, and then I didn't get to, and then like later that day is when the news of the drop rate came out, and then I feel like when people said something, then my drop rate went down. So I blame all of you.
Okay, so I'm just scrolling back up through our Discord to Byro's math. So to his math, just using regular energy for 5 days, regular energy, I should have had 33 shards with just regular energy. And I bought a 50 refresh every single day. And I ended with 32. So I ended with lower than what the drop rate actually was. Please
That's
explain.
no good.
Like, I'm not good at math, but I know that is wrong.
Yep, yeah, you get unlucky. I suppose you could have had 0, but that's less than expected. I took some of them. It sounds like I at least initially took.
He took your luck.
Sarah.
He took.
Yeah, you took my shards. Give me my shards.
But so up to now, I've loved the Galactic chases, but now that they changed the drop rate, soured the entire event. It's terrible.
And I should say, I forgot to mention this, they changed the drop rate because they changed how much it costs to refresh your energy and how fast it refreshes. That was their justification. That was their logic for it. Yeah.
Garbage.
Because now it's 50 crystals to refresh and it used to be 100, we can drop the rate.
And the point,
which doesn't quite work out. Like they should have they should have dropped it more like 30% instead of 50 to make like when you do the refreshes and stuff and add them up, depending on where and how far you go down the refresh rabbit hole. Right. It certainly wasn't beneficial, and at most was barely kept us even, but typically was a nerf.
And with a marquee, the benefit is it's a new character you can test out, see how they work, and actually play with
there's
him.
no of the little event things that go with it. That's
Right.
true.
I have no idea how he plays, despite spending crystals each day to try and unlock him.
I could have
Maybe
put those
I'll just
crystals to
like
work.
do some ship battles on in the like PvE just to show you guys.
Do you want to
we can
do
all,
that?
We can all do it together. No, I'm just kidding. You don't care about seeing my.
Well, I'm saying I don't have him unlocked, so I can't even test him out or anything like I would a normal marquee. Like my crappy Gear 7 Mandalorian. At least with him, I could try and go in Galactic War to see what the Disintegrate looks like. But not with this new Rebel Y-Wing.
Yep, I prefer Galactic Chase, but I totally see all your downsides of it there.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll again.
It's a cool idea because I'm not gonna lie, like I like getting the gear while I'm also earning shards.
Right, yes, that's the other big thing.
I was getting more. I was farming MK12 furnaces, and I was getting more furnaces than I was shards.
Stupid furnaces. So many
So
furnaces.
stupid.
All right. Onwards. Number 2, the news is no news. So the road ahead for this quarter will be in the last month of the quarter. So it's really like the road now at the very best. After they delayed it into June. I will say at least they said something. That's a positive, I guess, that they mentioned it.
The heading was so funny. Road ahead, construction delays.
Yeah.
And then just saying, we are delaying it. We can do nothing for you right now.
There are potholes.
You get nothing. And then they the post of that talks about the basically, like we're working on our systems, quote unquote. Like much of our gameplay experience is handcrafted, and this has worked until now. A BS. It hasn't worked for 2 years, I would argue, but it doesn't allow us to build fast enough to satisfy the demand for content. So they're doing some to build up the tools. So that's exactly the systems thing they've been talking about for 9 months and have gone back and forth on like, nah, we never said we're working on that stuff. Isn't that what they said the last Q&A?
Oh,
yeah.
Like it's
every
like,
single
no,
time.
we never said that. We never said that. Even though they said it every time, and they're like, well, what have you been doing? And now that's apparently back.
Right.
Like that's
just keep playing because something big is coming. Just keep playing because it's coming.
It's not a raid though.
Well,
not a raid. That's what we said it was going to be at first.
Yeah.
We changed our minds.
So at this rate, to be fair though, Sergi in particular, I think that means we're probably getting a raid because it's coming. They're going to take it away, and then it's coming. So
what is so dumb is that you don't have to promise, or you don't have to share everything the week it comes out. Give us something. Give us concept art. Give us what's the hints towards what the mode is going to be like.
I miss the riddles. Give me a riddle because then at least I have something like.
What they did with the Galactic Legends was good only if they did it on content instead of characters. You know what I mean? Like if they did the here over the next 6 weeks, every week we'll tell you about a portion of the new raid or whatever they're doing. Right. Like if they built that stuff up, but by the way, had done this 6 weeks ago, don't do it now and push out your event. Because that's how they would construe this message. Like
the time that this road ahead was due to come out for everybody. They know this is the time months in advance. They have a calendar.
Mm-hmm.
But they had such delays that they couldn't share anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
What's up
Sounds
with that?
About right.
Oh my gosh. I don't trust them at all to come out with anything.
This was that a surprise? I have literally zero expectations. It wasn't that long ago. Maybe it was. I used to be excited to get updates in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now it's anything that's come for more than a year now has been, whatever. I'll read about it later or something, or don't even.
I remember I would like when the forum updates would come and they would like post the riddles, post whatever, like anything. I'd be like, okay, and I would take it and I would read it and then I would like distribute it. I'm like, okay, this person needs it. This person and I would just filter the information out into the world. And now I'm like, I don't want to read it.
Yeah, I used to check each day and like see if there was a post, and if there was, like take my break at work and spend the whole time thinking about the new kit or the new character.
And like, sorry, if you have a journalist, someone with a journalism background who is naturally curious, who does not want to read your news updates, you have a problem.
Like, I mean, so the three of us should be having this conversation when we love the game so much that we made a podcast to geek out about it.
Yeah.
And then they've made us turn against them.
It is. I mean, and again, we really frame ourselves as the positive show, and to be fair, has not been in multiple episodes. I really try. There's nothing to be with it. So,
and this post, like he says, we know you're eager for stuff. Rest assured, it's coming. Like already having on the defensive, like defending himself. It's coming. It's, we are gonna have more exciting years to come. So this new thing is gonna help exciting years, many years, with these new tools.
I missed that part. Yeah.
Years. Okay. It's a new territory battle. Yeah. We're going to get 1 star.
We have tools we're working on, which is why we can't show you anything. Because it's nothing that you're going to see, but just know the tools we're working on, the technical stuff that we can't show you, is really helping out in what eventually will turn into content.
Maybe. It's probably just going to be like an easier way for them to like make sure they can update which Omega battle is coming that next day. Like right now, it takes them 2 minutes, and now it will take them like a minute and a half to.
They're setting up a bot to do it for them.
Right, like that's their update is now we don't need to do work at all.
Do you guys when you guys were kids, did you ever play like Broken Telephone?
What's Broken Telephone? No,
yes.
I can't.
You've never heard of Broken Telephone? It's where like you sit like in a circle with your friends.
Oh, just telephone. You're just saying telephone.
Yeah, it's Broken Telephone.
Well, now this is bananas. Broken Telephone?
Because it's broken. Here. By the time it gets to the end, it's broken.
Huh. I've never heard anyone call it. You weird Canucks and Californians, I guess.
I've heard it both ways.
Okay, so I feel like that is like the CG offices. It's just a game of Broken Telephone.
Yeah. Wait, here we go. It is called various ones. Chinese Whispers is what it's listed at in Wikipedia. Yeah. Or telephone. It's technically called telephone. It can vary by name. Russian Scandal, Whisper Down the Lane, Broken Telephone. By the way, then that says in Poland and Greece, the only one where they clarify. So somehow you got the Polish and Greece. I don't know. Do you have Polish ancestors or something? But
oh no.
So that's just wanted to make sure you guys were the wrong ones here. That's all. No, I'm kidding. I actually kind of like that you call it the Polish and Greece way. Like that seems cooler actually to me.
Yeah, man.
All right. But, excellent. Sorry, but yes, telephone. Yes.
That's what I think their office is like.
Yeah, and maybe even harder now if they're working from home more.
Yeah, and there's no technology.
It can't be worse. So, a number 3. This is what qualifies it for news again these days. Farm Boy Luke is the June login. Maybe Empire related. Maybe more. I don't know, Sergi, what do you think? More?
I do think more. Now, tons
Tinfoil me.
There's been tons of, throughout the years, Jedi Luke is coming. Jedi Luke is coming. And I've never thought that it was actually true.
Yeah.
This time, even if the farm boy Luke thing doesn't pan out, I do think that it's coming time where this year we'll probably get a Jedi Luke. Or whatever they call him, it is going to be the Luke that everybody wants from the original trilogy. I think so. Especially because, one, they did have the Luke Skywalker farm boy. Somewhere, I don't remember what post, but they said something about a new character or a new way to have this new exciting character come out. So it sounds like maybe with whatever new event, new content they're coming out with, Jedi Luke would be the reward for that.
Oh, got it. Versus Galactic Legend.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
Oh, so you don't think he would be Galactic Legend?
Originally, I thought he would be. Because
I still think he would be for sure, but I see what you're saying.
He might be, or they might make the new content. He's going to be the reason to draw people in to actually play it, whatever it ends up being. Like,
to bring in new players.
Yeah, like Han Solo for the original Rancor. He was, one of the first actual original characters you could get. So everybody wanted him. So it was very invested people we were getting. I think it's going to be a similar thing, and they're going to make it really hard to get. Like, imagine if Jedi Luke was the reward instead of Ki-Adi-Mundi.
Oh man, I would be.
They might actually.
Yeah. So if they did
although that might
like
make me more mad at the event. Like now, especially when they had the invisible burn stuff. Like I was already kind of irritated at it. If it had a character that actually mattered, then that might be more important. That's a good point. Sarah, how about you? Is Farm Boy Luke a sign of anything?
I was thinking maybe I'm trying not to read into it because I feel like the last few months we haven't been able to read into anything. But I was thinking that he would be a Galactic Legend if he was released. I was just trying to figure out who the other half would be.
Yeah. I still think it is, but I totally get and to be fair, they probably planned on him being a Galactic Legend and then now are changing the other stuff to like, well, we're not going to do a raid, so and do like what Sir G was saying. So I think all bets are off as far as what the heck they were up to.
I am thinking that he is coming because it makes sense, especially when they're like, oh, Empire Strikes Back anniversary and like all this kind of stuff. It makes sense to bring him into the game. I think they don't know how to bring him into the game.
Agreed. I didn't know how. I think Galactic Legends is a great way. But if they can make it an even harder way, that'll bring more money than just a single.
It's like the Galactic Legend to get into the event, which is then, even more difficult. Like it's a raid on top of instead of getting the stupid tickets. Anything's better than farming the tickets. So not that but it's even another step beyond that. And then you get the tickets and then you unlock the event. That sounds actually more appropriate to what they'd have.
Yeah.
Could be a combo thereof. All right, so again, a lot of positivity. So that's going to bring us to the I Love You, I Know segment. It's easy to get jaded by this game, but there's a reason why we're still playing it after 4 years. So each show, which mine, I want to say I started May 26th, 2016. So I think I've been playing the game for 4 years now. And I'm sure I said this before on here multiple times. I vividly remember where I was when I started playing it. I was like at the in-laws' house and just like, I'll play that. And my wife's like, what's that? Like, some mobile game, which again, this is, well, I guess now the Disney one too, but the only mobile games I've ever played. Like, I don't know, something I'll play for 2 weeks.
Right.
And delete.
Yes, like at most 2 weeks. She brings that up all the time. Almost every time I bring up that like, oh yeah, tonight's podcast night. She's very like good and joy, but jokingly like, remember when you told me this would be 2 weeks? So basically every week for the last every other week for the last 48 weeks, she brings that up. Anyway, so it's been 4 years for me as well. Sir G, what's been good?
What has been good is I like playing with my Supreme Leader Kylo. I have gripes about the disparity between him and Galactic Legend Rey, but I enjoyed soloing the raids with Kylo, and I figured out a secret team to take down the terrible Jedi Rey squads in my arena.
Ooh, continue.
Mm-hmm.
So using a Newt lead.
What?
Yeah.
All right. Newt! Man, I'm on board.
Newt lead.
Well, now I'm bummed I don't have Kylo.
It even works better versus the ones with the ultimate ability.
Huh.
Yeah. I'll pull up some footage, but basically you use Newt lead with Watt and Geonosian Brood Alpha and B1. Rey, her super 300,000
B1 was out of there. Okay, continue.
Yeah. Her super 300,000 hit. You want it to always land on the brute, the summoned brute.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get what's Newt's debuff? His blue thing, his blue icon.
Extortion.
Yeah. Once you get extortion on everybody, your team will take many more turns, despite their crazy speed. It lowers their offense because of Newt's lead, so that it's hard for them to kill my tunes or to even get their protection ripped off. So it's really fun, and it's the reason why it works. I don't know if it will work without Supreme Leader Kylo. It's possible if he had a really high relic Jango, I think he could maybe do it. But this is the best team where I can keep my Kylo alive by having them distracted with all these other characters long enough to amp up his mastery with Siphon to actually kill the enemies.
Yeah,
Like
cool.
it times
I
out.
like it.
It times out a lot.
Oh, that's not as cool.
Just because you can't kill these stupid lifeblood on General Kenobi. Constant protection.
So extortion doesn't stop that, right?
No.
Okay. Because I know it'll stop like taunts and stuff from coming back, but
it doesn't stop healing, and the taunt will reapply if Watt has put that thing on them. For the enemies that run Watt, to put Watt's tank thing on.
Got it. With the Watt one. Got it. Yep. I thought you meant your Watt. I'm like, no. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Cool. That's still cool. I like it. Newt lead. Yeah.
I like it.
I just finished my semester, so I'm going to work on a video for it.
Please do. That'd be one I want to see. Sarah, what do you have for Newt this time? We should all come back with a Newt segment. Tell us.
I actually do have
this week in Newt.
I actually have a Newt story.
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
This is great.
But my first
turning me around on the game.
I got two I love you I knows.
Ooh.
So my first one.
Newt? Wow.
Well, one of them is a Newt.
Okay.
So my first one is that we picked up our 15th, an extra star in light side territory battles last week.
Excellent. Good work. Where at?
Pumped for. The second middle territory. So we purposely ignore it until the last day, and then we go all in. Well, not all in, but you get the idea. We picked it up. So that was fun. And then my second one is I was playing Grand Arena 3v3, which we all know I hate, to the point that I don't even like to do the battles, and I wait until the last second. Partially in hopes that I will like run out of time and I can't finish. And Anyway.
You can blame your loss on that.
Yeah, and I can be like, oh, I ran out of time. Dang. Anyway, so I was fighting it was a Kylo lead. I want to say it was Matt with Hux. Not Hux, sorry. First Order officer. And I want to say First Order executioner. It was a First Order team. Doesn't matter. Sure. Yeah. And they were fast and they were relics. And I was like, well, this isn't going to go well because I don't have any teams left. So I tried. I don't remember what I tried the first time. It doesn't matter because it lost. So there we go. Went in with Newt lead, Count Dooku, and Droideka, all of which are slower, considerably slower than the enemy team. None of them are relic. And my only gear 12 is Droideka. The other two are gear 11.
Nice.
And they wrecked it. I was like, what is happening here?
Dude, Newt's a monster.
Newt is happening.
Yeah.
Newt is happening.
So now I'm like, that's my new favorite team. Newt, Dooku, Droideka. And I take it in. Every match since then, I've used them against something. It's so much fun.
Yeah. Newt's extortion is so cool.
It is. I completely agree. That's what Sir G got me on the Newt train very early after the and then I stole it from him. But now it sounds like he's taking it back from me, which is unfortunate. But yeah, you can't hold him down. He will continue from there. So perfect. That's good. Everyone used some Newt. Mine would be I enjoyed the 3v3. I'll probably be sick of it by the last one, but teams have been going well. I'm 5-1. I lost the final last time by 2 points. If I had gone second, I would have won, but it was one of those. I don't think he can handle I had a high score and he had to beat my Rey. He had Kylo. All of my ones last time had Galactic Legends, so that was unfortunate, but I still won all of them until the end. But kudos to that guy, whoever. I don't know what the name was. I didn't really look into it all that much, but won by 2, so I tip of the hat, which I would rather have that than not do anything, I guess. So
yeah.
I've been enjoying 3v3, and Rey is stupid good on that.
Oh, I didn't tell you. My General Kenobi.
Cannoli?
My Kenobi lead with Jolie and Hermit Yoda. I've been setting them up top, and I get at least 2 holds every round, and one round I got 5.
Wow.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, I'll take any holds for.
Yeah.
Let alone 5.
Last week 3v3 wasn't the worst, mostly because I fought enemies with really frustrating teams. So I thought, these actually, they did pretty good with coming up with a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
And then, embarrassingly, I ran out of time, forgot to set.
Oh no!
Because we already used it as your excuse before. Wink, wink.
Yeah, because I was gonna check swagga.gg to see what last week's opponents did, and then set their teams, but never got on my computer. And then it was 3:00 today, when it starts at 2 my time. Oh no! Now all my best tunes are randomly scattered into these 3v3 teams. So I'm gonna wait till the last minute. Maybe my opponent won't try hard because they think I'm not gonna play, and maybe I can get a couple wins. I don't even know who I have left to attack with though.
That'll be great though for you down the road, because people will check your history and think that you don't play.
Yeah.
So I just do it all week. I should do it this whole week.
Just let it roll, and then people will be like, this guy doesn't care.
Or maybe even like make it worse, like you're going in and losing the battles and ones that you should win. Just or them all, but make them look super duper bad.
Let it auto set and then win the battle. And people.
Oh no, then I'd be scared of you if you were winning the auto set one. All right, on to a Discord corner. Come ask us questions. Join us on the Discord. I mean, even that, 4 years ago, I had no idea what Discord was. Heck, it was
me neither.
3 years anyway. So, for those of you that don't know, it's like an app that you go on and where most communication about this game happens. Unless you're some weird foreigner and use Line, and then you're ridiculous.
Guild used Line. That's hilarious.
So did I. Like my second or third one did. I did not like it. So that was part of the reason I switched. Like, no thanks.
It's just a big group text app. Line is just group text.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. It didn't work out nearly as well.
You can send videos in Line though. You can't send videos in Discord.
Would you be sending lots of videos?
Oh.
Okay. All right. Number 1. Did we do this one last time? I don't think we did. Inke. I'm going to say if they make 2 Galactic Legends a year, like Jedi Luke, and it takes about 6 months to hoard them, would you be content working on 2 characters per year? My answer is no, and I think that's all there is to it. But
yeah, my answer is also no.
Sergi?
I am not content working on 2 characters per year. I am not content having to do this every year.
Yeah.
This was not fun.
It's so not fun.
I don't care how good the character is in the end. 6 months of hoarding was not fun at all. No justification for it. And the fact that I had to do it with Kylo being so much worse than Rey when it comes to
and not
PvP.
Knowing, like having any idea.
Exactly. It's not fair. Because
it'll also make it feel like you can't do anything for yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
My entire mindset now is just auto everything every day. Don't spend anything, and wait till the next Galactic Legend comes out, and then after I've got 900 stun guns hoarded, 900 whatever.
2,200 Carbantes. That's what I need for Kylo.
Yeah.
2,200.
For the first time ever, I went to, .gg, not for the first time ever going there, but I went to it and I went to Rey and I did this for Finn as well, but I went to Rey and I went to her full gear list and I opened my notepad on my phone and I copied it into my phone so that when I'm in the game and I get the gear, I can switch back and forth and check mark like what I have. How sad is that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's kind of fun too. And then I think that's the hardest hit it for me too. Like you can't work on anything else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then we're starting to, we were talking before the show a little bit. My shard is great. Like they are not good, or at least super slow to farm stuff. A lot of them. Shout out to a couple of them that listen to the podcast and they're closer or already have like, fuck. And the next question does kind of be from him. Anyway, and has Kylo Ren. So, but the ones that don't have it are already starting and they're working on it. They're starting to they can't beat them very well in arena and can't climb anymore. And it's getting to be frustrating for the ones that don't have it. And it's still going to be months for a couple of them, that are used to being top end and don't have that from there. So, as someone who has been on both sides of the I'm anti-meta, I'm gonna do this because it's cooler type of thing. It just gets so tiring after a while of getting beat down all the time.
It makes the game way harder.
It does.
And let me vent for a second about the crappiness of Kylo versus Rey. So Rey's lead helps out all light side characters.
Right.
Kylo, just being on the team, hurts all dark side characters.
Right.
Kylo's lead does nothing for dark side characters. Crit damage and 40% mastery. Do you know how much 40% mastery is? That's like for a tank like Malik at Relic 7, another 2,000 protection and 1% armor or something dumb. Whereas Rey's lead, 30% health increase for a General Kenobi who has over 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
Not even close to being equal in leads. Rey does Lifeblood and 300k AoE so that the mods don't even matter for her because she has a move that will kill anybody. Doesn't matter what her offense is. And Kylo Ren, on the other hand, his most powerful move starts off maybe 50,000 critical hit, and you have to slowly build up. My other gripe is that Rey gets to take all the last metas and stick them on her team and just throwing them all together, and it's automatically good. General Skywalker.
You can use whatever you want on that team.
Yeah. General Skywalker, Jedi Knight Revan. Just throw them all in. Go ahead. It doesn't matter. Like, General Skywalker, the fact that the last meta, works so well with her lead is unfair when she's already got a great kit in the first place. But Kylo, General Skywalker is the perfect counter because of his cooldown,
Right. It's unfortunate. Like, that is the thing that works the best, other than a Galactic Legend, is the thing which is the current meta.
Yeah.
Like, it would almost be better if Jedi Knight Revan beat it easier than General Skywalker, because then people would have to choose and go back between them, stuff like that.
Exactly. But no, General Skywalker gets a critical hit. Now my Kylo cannot use my specials, which means I cannot increase my siphon, which means my damage is always going to be just the 40k, 50k critical hit, with Rey doing her 200,000 ultimate or a 300,000 special. Like, when it gets to 1 versus 1, Rey versus Kylo, and the Rey can use her ultimate, then
Kylo Ren if you don't have the ultimate, but with it, you just need that one time to.
And then when she uses her ultimate, it makes it so everybody takes 1 damage, so nobody can get hurt on her team. When he uses his ultimate,
that's not true. They take 1 damage.
Yes, they take 1 damage. When Kylo uses his ultimate, only he can't take damage, but he also can't taunt, can't be the one targeted or anything, so that everybody else has to die. And the enemy can't even attack you. You can't even hope for bad AI like targeting him when he can't be hurt or anything. Even though...
Oh, you can't even select him?
No, can't select him or anything.
I just play him on auto. I wouldn't even know.
It's terrible. and the other last part about why it's terrible that the current meta General Skywalker does great against Kylo is that General Skywalker will reduce the max health of anybody without protection. Rey has bonkers health, bonkers protection, does the lifeblood crap where everybody gets protection, bonus protection up. There is 0 protection recovery on a Kylo Ren team. You can't run anybody like the Kylo Ren Unmasked to try and have any kind of protection recovery, because then everybody with Kylo's Supreme Leader Kylo gets down to 1 health and 1 protection. Kylo's stats, Supreme Leader, is low protection, health that's not nearly as high as Rey's. So he quickly gets to where he's losing tons of max health protection, where he can easily be one-shot by General Skywalker. Even though Skywalker's not the lead, no bonuses or anything to his offense. Just one shot because he's reduced Kylo's health so much. It's such crap. It's so not fair. After months of this, hoping that they would be equal, or at least not letting the current meta destroy my Supreme Leader Kylo.
The ultimate will help that quite a bit, I think, which you'll have soon, right?
Right. But it's garbage that I have to have an ultimate. General Skywalker doesn't have to have an ultimate. General Skywalker doesn't have to have months of farming tickets just to get him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. All right. But leading into number 2, Kylo is way better at the Sith raid. So Puck Grum wants to know, I need some wisdomous words about Kylo Ren in the Heroic Sith raid. If you have both specials up, which one do you use? How slow is too slow? And have you come up with any cool comps? You tried one with Padme or something that you've been doing and made it worse. So what's Sergi been, you don't have to go maybe too in depth, but which one do you use of the specials and stuff like that?
I haven't finished it, but I'm working on some calculation spreadsheet do some math, try and figure out this. But I would say you want to use the special that adds to your mastery if you have both ready at the same time. It's not worth getting more siphon than it is to actually increase your damage.
Do they siphon anything in the Sith raid?
They don't take anything from the raid bosses, but they do add to his stats.
Got it.
Which is why, like, say you're at, even if you're only at like 240 siphon, it's better to increase your mastery by 240% than to just get 40 more siphon.
And then build it from there.
Yeah. Then, how slow is too slow? I have mine fast because your starting offense, starting crit damage really don't matter at all. Speed is the big deal. Because I was also doing the math, and the real reason why he can do so much damage is because of the stacking crit damage that he gets from mastery. So the offense, let's see. So the offense, okay, so I did the math for if Kylo Ren took 44 turns or something like that, a critical hit with him would be 500,000, and that's
a lot.
And he has increased his mastery by 840%.
Why don't you just do that against Rey? That sounds easy.
So,
just take 44 turns.
So the critical hit at that point would be 500,000. But when you factor in the mastery increase to crit damage, because 100% of his crit damage mastery is 13.5% crit damage, that 500,000 turns into 3 million.
Oh, that's a jump.
Like, the offense is not nearly as important as the critical damage boost you're getting from the mastery, which is really interesting. And that's another reason why I'm not even sure. I mean, there's nothing better to put there, but a crit damage set or a crit damage triangle isn't too important when your increasing mastery of crit damage is outweighing it a lot. Which is why another reason why his lead having plus 50% crit damage doesn't really help anything. Because when you've got all this siphon and increasing of the mastery, that's like a single 300 siphon gain.
Right.
Yeah. Then what was the other part of the question? Okay, now the reason why I like putting Padme on the team because I don't like having anybody die.
That's very kind of you. That's so wise.
Yes. Hux, no matter what, will die if he's gaining turn meter. Because, and don't know what the developers were thinking, but every single one of his abilities, just about, makes him increase turn meter so that he can never be paired well with Supreme Leader Kylo. So he will always fall with it, but in phase 2 at least, if not phase 1. If you don't have Padme or anything. Now, other cool comps, there's someone in our guild, a friend named Voxen King, who had a cool Hux lead, Thrawn, Hermit Yoda, let's see, Kylo, and Special Forces TIE Fighter pilot. And his whole strategy was get as many assists as I can, which works well. But I don't think it works any better than the Padme one. It's a little bit better because you can get a few more assists in phase 1. But any comp where Hux dies, by the end, you've just got 4 characters with a healer, Thrawn for speed reduction, and then 1 assist caller. So I am doing better with my Padme team, working on it. I would say that in the raid, try not to use assist or specials or anything at the start wait until you get to 300 or 400 siphon, even if it's only like 5 turns left to enrage of the first phase, then start wailing on Nihilus, your assist specials.
They don't give them the turn meter with a lower hit.
Right. Because a lot of your damage is going to come right at the very end.
Excellent. Sarah, I'm sure you had a lot to add on Kylo Ren and Sith Ray.
I take a 0.
even with. All right, so that one's for Sir G. This one's for Sarah.
Yeah.
Hotman 3 wants to know, and it's a good question, as much as you're willing to talk, or want to talk about it. What has your experience been playing this game as a female? This is a heavily, I don't know that I've ever played a game that's so heavily dominated, male dominated as this game. Between Star Wars and how the whole community comes together and works on stuff. Outnumbered, I would say, I mean, I'm sure the devs would give different numbers, but I'm going to say anywhere from 2 to 5%. 5% being super high.
Are girls?
People that play this game are girls. Yeah.
I can think of 4 girls off the top of my head.
Out of like thousands of.
Yeah.
Again, there's probably more. Obviously, there's more, but they're not maybe as active in the community either.
Right.
So anyway, just if you're just like, I don't know, I just play the game. It doesn't really bother me one way or another.
I would say that it is overwhelmingly not a terrible experience being.
Wow, what a great, overwhelmingly not terrible.
So I mean, there are good, there's good and there's bad, and I think it also depends on what role you play in your guild, if you're just a member or an officer. If it's known that you're female, I know that there are girls that play Star Wars that you can't tell because they don't make it known.
Yeah.
It's blatantly obvious that I am. So that being said, I get a lot of sexual related jokes, which, like, whatever. I've always hung out with guys. It rolls off of my back. The majority of the people who play this game are insanely friendly and well-intentioned, and they're just trying to like create humor and have fun, which is fine. That being said, I have been called every derogatory term that you can think of has been directed at me, yes, as an officer. So I think that if you are, I'm
sorry to hear that. I just can't even fathom whatever.
Yes.
So anyway, do you think that you've got treated worse than the male officers or whatever?
I can actually prove it because what ended up happening was literally the day before I was sent this message, this person was also kicked out of their Marvel Strike Force guild. And it was a female officer that did the boot, who also plays Star Wars, that you cannot tell. You would never know that she is female. And she got like an upset message, but there was no like derogatory terms in it. And I didn't even do the boot in Star Wars. I wasn't even online, and I got the rant and the tirade of like literally just a run-on sentence of terms. So I think it is definitely very obvious in that case. That being said, the times that stuff has happened is like few and far between. Like I can count it on one hand. So I wouldn't like say it's terrible at all. I wouldn't even call it bad. Like there are with anything, I don't think it matters if you're male or female. With anything, there's going to be a bad experience, and you're not going to get along with someone. But yeah.
Would you tell? I don't know if you have a sister, but would you tell your best friend or sister to play this game with you? You know what I mean? Like ignoring the like they're not like, nah, it's too toxic. I'm too far deep into it now, and I have my little thing, but it might be hard for you to find it or.
The only reason why I wouldn't tell someone to play this game is because you're too far behind now.
Right. Okay. Yes. The and
I wouldn't say
all the stuff we whined about previously.
Yeah, I wouldn't say not to play it because of the community or because of an experience or anything like that. Like, I love the guild that we're in. I talk to the guys in our guild every single day. Like, I talk to guys who aren't even in our guild every single day. I've just known them for years now that I'm like, hey, they know what's going on in my life and I know what's going on in their life. So I wouldn't say that it's a bad community at all. But I think I think it's easier to target a female when you're pissed. If that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. That's true of anyone different from you. Like,
yes.
When times are going well, it can be like, oh yeah, that's great. I can always, and then things go wrong. It's you like to point out differences that's not just gender, but race or whatever. That's once things start to not go right, then that becomes a reason or a focal point of that. Do you feel that you are pressured to like be an upstanding female citizen, if that makes sense, or like that you're carrying some standard that you need to uphold, or you feel like, well, I'm going to make sure that I'm extra good at this game, or that there's you need to be on your best behavior?
No.
Or okay, cool, great.
I do what I want. I do what I want.
Perfect.
No, I don't feel that way.
Does this seem game worse than any other game at the treatment? Like, have you played another game this much or involved with people that make like this game is unique in how it has people upset with female?
Or happy?
It's not worse. Call of Duty is way worse. Way way worse. Like
a lot of ways.
Bad experience. But no, I wouldn't say it's worse. I'm trying to think of every game that I've played online where it's obvious that I'm female. But yeah, no.
Similarly, have you ever thought of being not obviously female? Like, is there a celiac George?
I have thought of. I've actually even thought of just changing my screen name in general, and just kind of like disappearing. But I feel like it's too far gone now. I can't do it. So, and I don't know what I would change it to. Mole Eliza.
Greatest of all names.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. That's not something me and Sergi can really chime in on. We're on the other side. So, last one here, Ski Trooper. Turning Wampa into dust in the Galactic Bounty event was extremely satisfying with Mando. So, what has been / do you think you will be the most fun character to disintegrate with Mando? Do you guys have any thoughts? Have you had a good Mando disintegration?
I have not used Mando.
So me neither. But this question does make me want to use him against Nest, because I hate Nest.
Oh yeah, I think Nest is a great answer.
Yeah, even a low gear Mando, as long as you can keep him to survive.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm on board with that one. I mean, it's true of anyone that you can annihilate, and some of them is like, yeah, it'd be great to do it against General Skywalker, but that's just, you're not going to survive long enough to make it happen. So Nest seems like a really good. She's a good character still, and he can match up with her, or is better than her probably.
Yeah.
Right.
To have that set up. And you can do it in the Galactic Bounty event too, because I sure remember trying to get Nest those in the early on.
Oh yeah.
She's not fun in there. Not fun at all.
That's a good place to try it.
Yeah.
It is. Wampa sounds like a fun one too. So we might have to put a pin in that. Maybe we'll have some better answers later, but I think I came on Nest as well. Thanks, Sarah. I'm not sure what I thought of that. All right, rank and file. I did want a little bit of see like where people are at with that. So Skywalker's down to 36%, and Rey is up to 29%. So she's inching closer. Kylo Ren's at 16, so he's also heading on up, and Darth Revan at 10. So General Skywalker in the not too distant future will be outshone. And when he come out? October. So a run from October to June is a long time to be the head honcho.
Yeah.
Though he technically, most people didn't have him, and so he probably didn't even get to be number 1 until December when he came back again. Anyway, the point is, I remember them about a year from now being like, yeah, we don't plan on metas running quite as long as they have been.
Yeah.
Good one, CG. You guys always get us. You always get us. And there's no way that Rey and Kylo aren't that too. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you can't almost have the Galactic Legends be outshone for a couple more months at least.
Yeah.
Speaking of least, last but not least, let's head to Uncle Owen's Moisture Farm Taco. Who, while we're currently farming in game, everyone knows work comes before going to Tashi Station to pick up some power converters. Sir Georges,
Yes.
what have you been a moisture farming?
I changed my farming of tickets. I was trying to be effective with getting stun guns and pyrotech, but then switched to just the 6 energy. Doesn't matter what the gear is, just trying to get tickets quick. But it disappointed me. I don't know if it's a worse drop rate, but it did not seem to help me get it any faster.
Well, that's a bummer. Mine sure did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably also because you have to get 70 of each one of those, and it's just.
I should have it in the next 2 days. Like, I have 8 done right now. I'm halfway towards the 9th. And I do about 2/3 of, so about 50 things a day. So at least by this weekend, I should have him with his ultimate ready. And that's the only thing.
And then what? And then what are you going to do with your life?
And then
It's been so long.
Yeah, I
And
know.
then hoard.
Then I'm gonna hoard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let the my entire collection collect dust.
Yeah.
And see what the next big Galactic Legend is gonna be.
Oh man.
Because I mean, what's the point in farming any of those other characters up?
Yeah. Which is there's a lot of characters like, man, I'd love to have Django and have one of them for a long time.
Yeah.
But it's just not worth it for.
I mean, I think I'm set on Dark Side Territory Battle. I don't think there's any way I can improve in Light Side Territory Battle. I just
Without
we don't
Rey,
know
right.
how.
right, just the way it is. Like, I can't imagine, if I had all these characters at R7, Relic 7, then I think I could get 4 out of 4 and our guild could complete it. No, it's like the Jedi without, trying to split 2 Jedi teams like they ask you to do in multiple phases.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they're all Relic 7, I don't think you can make 2 good Jedi teams.
No.
No.
So, what's the point?
I honestly don't I don't get it.
They really whiffed on those double Jedi ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree. All right. Well, congratulations. That'll be fun.
Thank you.
Next time, I can't wait for you to say how much better he is than Rey. Sarah, what have you been working on?
I've been farming Finn. And all of his gear so that when I 7-star him, I can just relic him right away and get those tickets right away.
Because you're how far away?
I actually just did the last sim. So I refreshed today. I just refreshed his node for the 100 crystal refresh. And I now need 3 Finn shards.
Marvelous.
So now my question is, do I refresh it again? Because it's double drops.
Double, and you get 8. That stops tomorrow too. You need to do it now.
Or does the 8 stop tomorrow too?
Yep.
Oh man. Okay, so here's my problem though. I can't gear 13 him yet because I need 20 injector cell thingy.
Yeah.
And they're not in the store. That's literally the only piece of gear I need. So
it's close, but if he's not gear 13,
I can't gear 13 him. So do I just wait and use the rest of my energy today on injector cell handles? Which don't drop, by the way. I think I've gotten one.
I would say wait if you can't just do the whole thing anyway.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And gear in fleet, more gear. I switched because there's nothing left in fleet for me to farm for Finn with double drops. So I've just started working on the Ray list because why not?
Yeah, because you need those. So work it up. And I also am in this kind of the Sir G boat of doing nothing. So Sith Trooper and Hux, and then saving. So my goal right now, I almost have 300 of every gear piece that like are desirable. So if I don't have 300 of like eyeballs or 9 eyeballs or anything that you get low on, the MK5 detonator thing, stuff like that, I almost have 300 of all those. So that's I'm just kind of working once I get all of those ones to like the next 50. Then I start working on the other ones. So I guess that's what's keeping me entertained. Sounds like fun.
Smart.
And that's it. But thanks for joining, you two. Any other comments before we go? Are we going to hear the road ahead by the next time we hear this? Like, is it going to come in the first half of June? Maybe.
Oh, no.
Maybe.
August.
Yeah, that's a good.
August.
It'll get delayed. Again.
That sounds about right. So we'll do the same whining next time, or it'll come out and we'll talk about how awesome all the changes they made were, and it'll be real cool.
Yeah, positive thinking.
It hasn't worked out so far. So
no.
But thanks for joining us this week. That'll do it until next time. Chewie, we're home.